We finished the Tommyknockers. Let's
We
go.
did.
What was it, 25 hours, right?
I wouldn't know because I read it.
That's right. Tommyknockers audio length. So if you guys aren't familiar, Kayleezy is a avid Stephen King reader. And I thought to myself, hey, this is one of my wife's hobbies. I want to get into her hobby. I'm going to listen to what she's reading with her eyeballs. And I go figure, I start on one of the longest books Stephen King has written, The Stand,
Truly.
which was I could have waited a little bit. So
Jumped
we
right in.
you jumped right in the 47-hour book. So I started there. We did Carrie. We both listened to Carrie on our way to Pennsylvania. And then Kayleezy read, and I listened to Pet Cemetery. And for our fourth book together, she read, I listened to The Tommyknockers. Now, I did explain what it was about, but if you need a quick refresher, it is a sci-fi horror novel about the residents of Haven, Maine, who are gradually transformed by a buried alien spaceship that emits a gas, granting them genius level abilities, but also turning them into a hive mind entity hostile to outsiders. Now, this was written in the 80s, 1987. I don't know if Stephen King is fond of this book or not, but I know he is not fond of the miniseries which we watched, which was as bad as the Stand miniseries in 2020. Both those guys should probably go to jail together
Hmm.
and share a sell a
Sale.
sale on how bad that was.
He's sleepy, folks.
I am. Anyway, this book was about 27 hours roughly audio. Kayleezy read through it, and Kayleezy read through it fast. So, I mean, she's a great reader, and she just knocked it out of the park. We finished before I didn't even realize that we were where we were. Like I was like, oh, there's only an hour left. Oh, wow. Um, so let's give you our initial thoughts. If we had any favorite characters or anything stick out to us, and then we'll give a rating at the end of our review, which I'll go through our previous ratings because Kayleezy bases them on her other ratings, I guess, from the last time we did a review. So I want to make sure I have that on, up and ready for you. But Kayleezy, take it away. You read this with your eyeballs, so you know a lot more probably than I do of the book. Give me your impressions, if there was something you liked a bunch, if there's a character that you liked a bunch, and then I'll share mine afterwards.
Okay.
Unless you
I
wanted me to go first. I don't want to put you on the spot.
I can go.
Okay.
I went into this not knowing what to expect because my mom and sister both said the book was good. Everyone said the miniseries movie thing was terrible, so I knew that would be bad. But my mom and sister said the book was good. A lot of other people said it was bad. I even had someone randomly come up to me at work and tell me it was bad as I'm reading it, which was
Hmm.
cool. Um, so yeah, I wasn't really sure what to expect. I feel like it's not one of the more talked about novels that he's written. It wasn't as bad as I thought. Maybe I went in with a low bar, so that helped. Um,
Because of what people
but
told you coming into it.
yeah, and
Okay.
like I had seen some reviews when I was thinking about like what books to read next. So yeah, I think a lot of people that noise just happened again, where I think maybe I stopped recording.
No, you're good.
Really?
I'm looking at your audio waves. You're good.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll move forward. Um, I don't know what that noise is then.
It's probably the Tommy knockers. They're hearing you talk about them.
Maybe. So yeah, I feel like the bar for expectations was really low. So I came out at the end of it like, okay, this wasn't horrible. I've read worse books for sure, books I could not finish, or books I finished and I was like, what a waste of time. So there's that. It wasn't his best at all. Um, there were, of course, which seems to be on par for like a lot of his books, some really long, drawn out, boring. chapters that didn't need to happen. There were some chapters, there were like maybe 3 or 4 that were like 2 or 3 hours long each, which I thought was a bit much. Especially some of them, like the things they're talking about. One chapter, I don't think it was terribly long, but it was like all about how the town of Haven got its name and all the previous names it had before and how each change of the name happened. And I'm like, why do we need to know this? I
It's
don't
very
think this
important.
makes a difference to anything. So that was pretty boring. I don't think I had a favorite character.
Mm,
Um, yeah. So that was kind of a bummer because I feel
yeah.
like normally his character building is really good. Um,
I don't think there
but
was like a.
yeah,
I don't think there was really a likable character. Maybe Trooper Duper was the only one that was likable.
I think he might have been likable, yeah, but
Yeah.
he was in it like so little
Yeah.
that we barely got much of him.
Mm.
Yeah, like the main characters, I don't know. I just didn't really care for the one main character, Guard, who is the like really good friend, sort of romantic interest of the main character that finds the ship in her backyard and starts everything. He is unsufferable. Like he's so
Mm.
bad. And one of the long 3-hour chapters was all his point of view about absolutely nothing. And then we'd have many chapters of other people's point of view, but talking about him or including him. And I'd forget that he was so unlikable. And then we'd switch back to his point of view, and I can't
Mm.
stand him.
He's drunk.
Um, I mean, he has other characters in his books that are drunks, and I like them. He was like, I don't know, really self-righteous and
He's a righteous
talked and
man.
thought in a way that like you could tell he thought he was clever and he was more clever than everyone else, and it was just very like high and mighty, and I just couldn't stand it. It was very frustrating. Um but yeah, I don't know. The ending was,
No, we'll talk about the ending towards the end.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never
Just your
mind.
initial, just your initial.
That's my initial. No favorite character. It was all right.
Yeah, yeah. I think I prefaced this in the last episode, and I'll say this pretty much every review. For me, like, okay, it's very easy for me to be cynical in my reviews, but I gotta give props to a person who is a human who can type out or write out all these words and make something out of it that thousands of tens of thousands and maybe hundreds of thousands of people will read. Like that is impressive. I'll never ever be able to do that, which I gotta give the man props. And he did it a lot in the
Mhm.
80s. A lot of the books we've read so far have been in the 80s. I'm not saying you're being cynical, Kayleezy, because you are an avid reader and you know more than I. I can tend to be more cynical because I'm listening to it and like the 3 hour chapter and the argle bargle stuff, I'm zoning out.
Bargle, bargle.
I'm zoning out, and that's okay because I'll catch up like a few minutes when my brain catches back on that I'm listening to the book. I'll catch back up and say, "Oh, okay, yeah, I think okay, that makes sense. I think I've caught up." You know, you on the other hand, you're reading it with your eyeball. You don't have the luxury of doing that. So going into the book, you had already started it before me, and you were going ahead. And I didn't really listen to the like if you were telling me things about it, I probably wasn't paying. I knew there's aliens involved. And the intro was, I mean, the book had me sold in the beginning. The tripping over the thing in the ground and the mysteriousness of everything, and Peter the dog touching it and getting better, and people were getting smarter. I was sold in the beginning. And as I progressed on, I started to say to myself, I started to say, what is happening? What is happening? I don't want to, we could talk about the ending in a second, but I think that the strong first quarter of the book, it was setting up the details of Haven and all the characters, and even though the poetry stuff was a little weird, but still like, okay, this guy is a bad guy. This chick's maybe a good person. Bobby Anderson, maybe a good person. And learning about the area was great. And then the dog stuff, great. But as the alien gas and the Tommyknockers got stronger, the more I didn't like what I was listening to. I'll give you an example. So I wanted the book to go a route where these guys are getting so smart and healing and de-aging that like they do something epic. Like they, I don't know. I wanted them to do something awesome with this. You know, the one guy in the plane, for example, flying over Haven, he talked about time travel. He said he figured out how to do time travel. Like, I wanted something epic like that to happen because they're getting so smart. And when they just started like making stuff and needing batteries, I like started to lose interest. I'm like, wait, so like she fixed her water heater. That's kind of interesting. Okay. Okay, she's doing stuff around the house, but then like there's this green light and she needs a lot of batteries. And then it just became they have a bunch of batteries and they can move rocks with this thing with batteries and they got to change the batteries. And I'm like, you're telling me like they're not building anything really cool, like really impressive. I didn't any of their inventions, which I know eventually we find out that they were like kind of a disfigured bunch, which is why they killed each other on the spaceship. Spoilers. But the way it was set up like this, they're going to be doing something like epic, worldwide, threat level, awesome stuff that they're building. And they never really got to that. And they just were dumb and killed each other. And eventually, like, they didn't even know how to protect Haven. Like they just seem oblivious for a lot of things, which is, yeah, I guess how you make a character have a flaw so that the book can end. But I don't know. I think I became less interested as we got into the third and fourth quarter of the book, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it was definitely disappointing, like that they have all this knowledge
You don't have
now.
to. You
They're
don't have to
super
agree
smart.
with me now, too. You can reject what I said. You don't have to.
I'm agreeing with
Okay.
you though.
Okay.
Like
All
one
right.
of the inventions they made was like this person she worked in a post office and she made a thing that like helped sort the mail. Which, okay, that's probably really cool for you because your job is easier now. But when you think about like alien technology, you're not thinking about like mail sorting machines.
That's a funny one. Yeah, that's so true.
Although there was a guy who made a thing that opened up the Repple Depple.
Oh
I
yeah,
guess that's kind of cool.
yeah.
The Repple Depple is like a portal to some other dimension or planet
Uh-huh.
where they store things, and they would, if they got mad, they would sometimes put people there,
That was
and then
Altair
they
Air
were
4, right?
all Terror 4, and then they
Yeah,
were just
yeah,
gone forever.
yeah. I did feel bad for David.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably the one thing that I did feel bad about was the kid that the Tommyknockers influenced this kid to build a machine with batteries, and it was taking people to Altair 4. And then he said, "I'm gonna put my baby brother in it," and then he transported his brother, and he went bye-bye. He went to
He was
the
trying to
empty
do
space.
magic,
Yeah, he's
like
trying to.
magic tricks.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so the Tommyknockers convinced him to like, oh, make him like a disappearing act, and then he couldn't get him back. And so he
yeah,
was like actually upset because he didn't mean to
yeah,
do that.
yeah. Which I'm curious why the Tommyknockers didn't have more influence on him like after that, it seemed like it just kind of wore off. Oh, he went to a coma, right?
Well, he got taken out of Haven, so he was
Oh,
out
to the
of the
hospital.
yeah, he was
That's right.
in Derry, so he was out
Oh,
of
okay.
like the range, I guess, of
Yeah.
the air or
Brother,
gas.
could you imagine he went to Derry and then Pennywise killed him?
There were references to Pennywise. Some people saw him.
In the Tommyknockers?
Yeah.
I think I missed that. I think I
They
missed that.
heard one person heard laughter in a drain, a bathroom drain in Derry, and then another person was driving and heard laughter and then saw a clown in like a sewer drain or something
Mm.
and was like, I think he was like wrote it off to the effects of the gas or something.
Ah. So
It was
Hilly,
very, very quickly
yeah.
mentioned.
Hilly could have died by Pennywise or the Tommyknockers in the same book, potentially. That would have been so wild if he did that. Like just a random crossover, and we never saw Hilly again.
He did lots of that.
Yeah. That's one thing. I'm only 4 books in, but when Stephen King wants to kill a character off, he just says those faithful words, and he never saw him again.
And he never drank another beer again.
There was the reporter guy that got out of Haven. I was happy that he made it out. That was so cool.
And then he went back in.
And then Stephen King said that was the last time he talked to his mom, or something like that. The last time he talked.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, come on. Why are you going to kill the guy? Let him stay out of Haven. You're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I think that's a good synopsis of how we feel about the book. If again, I could never write this, so I can't hate.
Agreed.
I can't hate on the book. I'm just telling you what I think as a listener. But for most people, they may like this book. I don't know. I'm a big alien sci-fi guy, so this tickled my fancy a little bit. But like I said, the third and fourth quarter kind of drew me off.
I thought I saw an interview or something maybe that Stephen King did not like this book as much.
Okay. Yeah.
I think he was on a significantly increased amount of drugs writing this book.
Beautiful.
And that
Excellent.
might explain
Isn't that amazing?
some of the kookiness.
Isn't that amazing?
Good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him.
Mm-hmm.
And to be 70,
I mean,
80
the fact
years,
that he can still write a huge book and be on a massive amount of drugs is still really impressive.
Good for him.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty amazing. All right, so wrapping up the ending, I think it was rushed, but again, I was listening to it. I felt like all of a sudden Guard and Bobby are at the table and they went through even the board in the spaceship. I felt like kind of went by fast. In the reveal of them, they all killed each other. It's kind of like, I don't know. And then next thing I know, the grandfather of Hilly and David is still alive in the goop tank, and they're all communicating to him. And then they get David out, and then he flies away. I was like, wait, that's it? And then they just kill all the Tommyknockers? Okay. All right. I guess Bobby and Guard was right that the Dallas, what do they call the Dallas police, would just take over and test on them and then kill him.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, and maybe it wasn't rushed while reading it with your eyeballs, but listening to it, I was kind of like, oh, okay. Wait, what is he doing on the spaceship? He's flying. Oh. Did you, when reading it, did you feel like it was a good ending? Did it feel like a good speed and like, or did it feel like it was just over?
I think it did feel kind of rushed because the rest of the book was so dang slow. And then all of a sudden, everything's happening. He's having this confrontation with Bobby. He's in the ship. Oh, he's got to go get David. Like, it did feel, and then there was a very short wrap up at the end of like, here's what happened after. And, Hilly and Bobby or Hilly and David are reunited. Not Bobby.
Hilly and Bobby just chilling.
Yeah. I feel like it was a little rushed.
Yeah.
Compared to the pacing of the rest of the book.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I was also kind of like, I'm ready for this book to be over. So that wasn't a bad thing.
Yeah. There you go. There you have it. All right. Well, let's give our reviews. Just as a reminder for Kayleezy, so you can remember what she rated everything. You gave The Stand a 9.5. You gave Carrie a 7, and you gave Pet Cemetery an 8. What would you give the Tommyknockers?
Maybe a 6.7.
Whoa, your first point. Wow.
No, I had a 9.5.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, sorry. I do see the 9.5. I apologize. I take back that clap. Okay, took it back. So you're saying a 6.5?
7.
7.5?
6.7.
Okay,
listen to me.
6.7. Sorry. All right. I gave The Stand an 8.9. I gave Carrie an 8.1. I gave Pet Cemetery a 7.2. And I unfortunately am going to go 5.8 for Tommyknockers.
It could be worse.
Isn't that amazing?
It's the lowest rated one for me. And that's okay. Not everything is going to be a banger. And Stephen King won't see this, and he will not care. So he's not going to be offended by this. But yeah, 5.8. 5.8. 6.7 and 5.8. Both of our lowest rated books for him. Not by much for Carrie. Carrie was just at a 7, so it's a little bit. Carrie was a little bit better than Tommyknockers, what you're saying.
I don't know. I mean, that was a different experience because I listened to it, and I think I retain more and have a better experience when I read it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So I don't know if, like, even the rating I gave Carrie was really fair. And I feel like Tommyknockers was definitely probably below Carrie.
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like I was more engaged because I was reading it.
Okay. Fair enough.
So, I don't know. And I think, too,
amazing?
I'm like, I don't want to give it too low of a rating because it really wasn't horrible. Like, I've read some really terrible books.
Yeah. He had me in the first half.
Really, really bad books. And I think, again, I don't know. I'm like, if I can be entertained,
yeah.
Okay. Like, you did a good job.
Yeah.
Did it all make sense?
No, not at all. So for our next book, Kayleezy already has it out. And so far what we've been doing is watching a book, and then we try to get a book that has a story, a movie or a miniseries. That's why we know for sure the director and writer of the screenplay for the miniseries of the Tommyknockers should be in jail with a director and screenplay writer for the Stand 2020 version. They should share a cell together. And maybe just do a year time because of how bad both of those were. So we are now going to do, I am going to pronounce this hopefully right. It is pronounced Kayleezy's story. Correct? You what?
I don't know how it's pronounced.
Okay, let's just say Kayleezy's story. And if you know how to pronounce it correctly, comment it phonetically in the comments of this podcast episode. This is our first book out of the 80s, ladies and gentlemen. We are in 2006. We are in the 2000s. This is modern King. This is drugless King. Let's see how it goes. This is a novel about a widow, Kayleezy Landon, who must confront her deceased husband Scott's dark past in the supernatural world he visited known as Booyah Moon, while dealing with obsessive fans and a dangerous stalker. So that is the synopsis of the book. It's 528 pages for Kayleezy, and it is 12 hours and 11 minutes to my ears for Carleezy. So I think we'll finish this book probably within a month. The way you read, I would say if you have time to read, I would say a month max probably for you for this book.
I mean, I still have to finish the other book I picked up in between.
That is true.
But I'm almost there.
Yeah. I mean, we got none but time. So I do have a couple long drives. And then we're also driving to Iowa. So if we don't finish it by Iowa, we could just finish it listening. Well, if you are okay with that, we can finish it listening. I don't want to
We have
ruin.
another book we were going to listen to
That
in
is
Iowa.
true, but we can mix and match. So, so there you have it. There's our book review.